What's up, everyone? Glad you enjoyed the mix that I put down. It's a preview to Juneteenth, which is the 19th of June. Anyway, what we're going to be discussing today is something that I came across and thought of. Mainly came across because I saw a video on Instagram talking about DJs talking about how they have to adapt to what's going on today. And these probably was DJs that's been playing for a long time. So I thought I put something together regarding that, and hopefully you guys will take heed to what I'm going to say, and hoping this will be a teachable moment. Without further ado, let's go. What's up, everyone? Again, thank you so much for listening to the music earlier. Um, I have done a couple of changes, as you can see. Um, I'm doing certain things as far as um, trying to spice up the setup. But anyway, I'm just gonna get into it. Um, how can DJs adapt today? As you know, you may know, there are different aspects to DJing. There's the different approaches to DJing than it was, I would say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even 20, 30 years ago. I know DJs back in those days would have flyers. They would pass out the flyers and let people know where they're going to be playing. Well, now since we have social media and the like, you know, you can don't have to just reach out to people that's local. You can reach out to those all over the world, and other aspects that you can achieve DJing. So we're gonna get to the presentation. Let's go. Okay. Let me make sure that okay, I gotta stop this right now. Hold on. I'm gonna go back here. Let's see. Here we go. How can DJs adopt today? And I use this photo because I was playing at one of my favorite spots in Toronto called the Control Room. The DJ next to me, is DJ and producer Jackman Jones, who lives out there in Toronto. Shout outs to him, and shout outs to all my peeps out there in Toronto. There, I was playing on the CDJs 900, and I think it was I think it was a 750 mixer. So totally old school, old school. In fact, the 900 the 900 CDJs wasn't the big splash like your Nexus 2000 and the Nexus 2002. I mean, I think what Pioneer was trying to do was trying to make a affordable version of that, and they pretty much missed the mark. But that's neither here or there. We can talk about DJ gear at another time. But what I want to let my DJs that's out there know, today and going forward, you have to make sure that you are abreast to what's going on in the DJ realm. Okay, so let me go. Let me get to the next thing here. Okay, DJs today can adapt by embracing both technology and community in a smarter, more strategic, in smarter and more strategic ways, which that's accurate because, as you know, especially as far as hardware and software, it changes all the time. I mean, right now, Rekordbox has the 7 version that's out, and there's a good number of DJs that don't like that version, but there's other DJs find the version more user friendly. So it depends on your your thought process and your mindset when it comes to these things. And also the hardware is out there has been really, DJ hardware companies are really trying to step up their game, and I'm all for that because I'm always for new tech, and also as far as community is concerned, certain areas where community in the DJ underground genre, it's really doing what they need to do. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying everyone is on board. You're always going to have your naysayers. You're always going to have your detractors. You're always going to have your haters. That's the norm. Nothing you can do about that. All you can do is move the way you need to move in this form, and you will be successful. So let's get to it. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Did I hit that? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Got a little edgy trigger finger here. Here we go. Now, master the tech stack. Okay. Now, streaming platforms. Now, if you're not live streaming as of today, you're really missing out. Especially if you're a young and upcoming teacher. If you're not streaming live on whatever platform you want to live stream in, whether it's Kick, whether it's Twitch, whether it's YouTube, whereas even TikTok, I know some DJs is having success in that platform. I think there's another new platform that's coming out called LFG. I hope I'm saying that right. So if you're not right now at this moment doing anything regarding live streaming or even involving yourself in online radio, you're doing yourself a disservice as a DJ. Bottom line, because promoters and club owners is not going to be knocking at your door. They're not going to be ringing your phone. They're not going to be texting you on your cell. They're not going to be hitting you up on your IG. You have to go out there and be presentable. And you have to also have some kind of portfolio to show what you can do. Now, me as an example, I live stream most of the time. That's pretty much my bread and butter. I will never leave it because it has gotten me to the places that I have played, the gigs that I have played, the people that have met. Those have been possible for me because of live streaming. So I will never leave that particular platform because it has done me a very, very great service. Okay, just want to put that out there. Okay, now, as far as gear and controller knowledge, you need to be abreast to the new gear. You need to be abreast to whatever gear that you are playing and involving with. And especially if you're playing out, you need to be familiarized with the club and the pro gear that's out there. And as of I know right now, the CDJ 3000 and the 89 mixer is the standard when it comes to clubs and festivals and the like. Now, don't get me wrong. There are places where they still have the the Nexus 2002 available along with the 900 mixer, which is good. So be just know that though that gear is still out there and people are still playing on it. But just to know that if you want to get yourself out there and you want to be playing in those particular areas, you need to make sure that you are familiarized with that kind of gear. Now, I personally just upgraded my DJ gear. As a matter of fact, I upgraded to a standalone because I wanted to not depend solely on a laptop or solely on playing on the record box of DJ software. I want to be able to, you know, export my music that I have on record box to my USB or my SSD, plug it to my standalone, and play it like that. Because that's the that's the standard of when you're going to these gigs and these places. You are going to be 9 times to 10. You're going to be playing with either pro gear or standalone. I mean, recently I played at a private barbecue from these members of this crew that does monthly events at this one small spot in Chicago, and they had the RX3, which I was familiar with it because to me it's like the standalone version of the DDJ 800. So I was very comfortable playing it, and I had no problems, taking it to its paces. But you got to be able to keep abreast with what's going on with tech. And YouTube is your friend. Watch as many YouTube channels as possible, which I do. I always watch regarding DJ gear, DJ software, DJ knowledge. I try to pick the brains of other DJs from all over the world of what they're doing, how they're approaching their mixes, their sets, how they're organizing their library. Anything that involves DJing, I want to keep myself up to date with that. Okay, brandy identity. Now, I think I said this many times. When you're a DJ, you are a brand. You are an advertisement, which means that you have to present yourself as a brand. When I go out to play, I'm House That Speaks. That means I'm going to wear something because I also design my own merch. I don't buy too many merchandises from other underground, entities. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends. But for the most part, I'm wearing what I have created. So, and the reason why I do this is because number one, I want people to, of course, go to my T Public, store and purchase some of my merch. But I want people to, I want to identify myself as a DJ. And the only way you can do that is wear gear that can speak to you, and it is, and also it will you can it's a way to advertise yourself as a DJ. Okay. Now, protective production tools. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about that because I'm not a producer. I haven't swam, I haven't dove in that pool yet. I know there are DJs who are dabbling into the production aspect, you know, and all I want to say about that is, just if you're doing it, just make sure you keep at it and you'll be successful in it. I mean, I have producers, I know DJs who did start production, they started putting out tracks and stuff like that, and it's gaining traction for them. So, kudos to them. So on to the next one. Okay, building build an online brand. Now, social media presence, very important. You know, very important. In fact, if you haven't done this by now, you are pretty much behind the eight ball. You should already have some type of social media presence out there. You and plus there are several platforms that you can use, but what I will suggest, pick the platform that suits you. I mean, me on a personal level, I use I use IG, I use Facebook. My mixes is on both SoundCloud and Mixcloud. Of course, I live stream on Twitch, and I also do my shows on YouTube. So those are the social media platforms that I use. I don't use TikTok. Never used it. It doesn't suit me. Uh, as a matter of fact, IG has threads now, and I prefer that. I don't use it as often, but I do use it as much. I'm trying to use it a little more, as I get a hang of it. It's still relatively new, so it's going to take some time. But I know that particular platform would definitely be key for DJs. So I'm looking forward to the growth of that. Okay, brand identity. Like I was saying before, make sure you have a logo. I have a logo. My logo is pretty much on all my merchandise. But if it's not, I let people know, I'm House That Speaks. And most of my DJ page on Facebook has my logo on it. I have a group page on Facebook that also has my logo on it. Each and every time I play via Twitch. Each overlay that I create, I always make sure I put my logo on there. Okay. Even when I wear my merch, for the most part, I make sure my logo is somewhere on my merch. If I'm creating a flyer for a raid train that I'm conducting of my own, I make sure my logo is present there. So, you have to brand yourself. Brand identity is key as a DJ. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a young upcoming DJ, and he showed me some designs that he was doing, and I asked him, did he have a logo? He said he did not. I said, you need to get a logo. And he showed me this when he was playing at this one event. Someone created his name on there, and it popped out so well. And I said, that's your logo right there. Whoever did that design, you make sure you get a hold to them, and you make sure you get a hold to that design, and make sure you put that as your logo, because that is your logo. So it's important to have a logo. And also, if you want to create merchandise for yourself, by all means, you should. Because, yeah, it's good to try, it's good to, to support others who do designs and the like. But if you're capable of doing yourself so you can promote yourself better, that's another way of branding yourself. Networking. Now, networking is, I cannot stress how the importance of networking. Looks like I may go over on this one, and if I do, that's fine. But this has to be said. If you're not networking, what are you doing? Why are you hurting yourself? You should be networking. You should be getting yourself out there. Now, I'm not saying go to every place out there and try to ask to play and stuff like that, because yeah, you want to do that, and promoters and club owners would like to see you out there, at least showing support to the other DJs that are in the lineup that are playing. Now, if there's a possibility that you may get to play at that particular gig, hey, you did your job. If you did not, it's not the end of the world. And trust and believe me, because I was that one, and I always got out there, always supporting stuff like that. And I did that before I became a DJ. So when I did become a DJ and realized that those doors is not opening as I thought it would, I turned a corner and I went a different route. And by doing so, I found another way for a door to open for me. And that's how I do things now. And I still go and network and support, because you have to. You got to make sure you get yourself out there. You got to get your name out there. You got to get your brand out there. You let people know that you are a DJ. Let them, you talk, and then you talk to your fellow DJs, because you never know. There's a possibility that one of those DJs may have a spot, may be playing on a lineup, and somebody may not be able to play on that lineup, and they can give you a call, say, hey, House That Speaks, if you're not busy, one of the DJs took ill or family issues, whatever the case may be, would you like to play on this slot? And of course, if the stars is aligned and it's to your liking, then you take the slot. So that's how you do that. But it all starts with networking. Okay, let's go to the next one. Excuse me. Should have my water. Okay, curate, don't just play. Every DJ has a unique style when they play, when they approach tracks, when they select their music. So when that title said "Don't just play," to me, in the way I interpret it, it means don't be a jukebox, because you're more than that. You're a curator. You're a creator. You're an innovator. You're trying to take people who's listening to you on a journey. You want to play. You want to make sure that you're playing the music that going to suit that particular event or party or festival or whatever the case may be. But you also want to make sure that you have the things that you need to pull that off, like your fundamentals as far as beat matching and transitions and blending and things of that nature, and selecting your music and making sure you listen to your music so you know where to position the next track to create to begin your transition. You know, you have to know these things. You know, storytelling sets, like I just mentioned before, you definitely want to try to take people on a journey. So you want to play music that you love, because you know if you love it, they're gonna love it too. Now, there's times where you could be playing on a set, because I have done that, where you might not be feeling the you know the tracks that's on your list. Then you might want to switch it up, which is fine. You know, because what you're doing is you're feeling the temperature and you're reading the room at the same time. And that's one of the key aspects of DJing. You have to know when to switch things up. Okay. And crate digging. Well, if you're a vinyl style DJ, you already know what that means. You know, but if you're a digital DJ like myself, who look for their tracks digitally, I'm always digging. I'm always listening. I'm always, you know, feeling music out to see what suits me. I always tell people, because I was once a dancer. I always say that I will never play a track that I won't dance to, that I will not dance to. If I can't dance to a certain track, I won't play it. You know, that's how I interpret it. So, next one. Staying educated and evolving. This is pretty much self-explanatory, because if you're not involving, and if you're not, like I said earlier, if you're not keeping abreast to what's going on in the DJ world, then you're falling behind, or you're being stagnant. You don't want to be that way. Even though I mostly play house, house is not the only genre that I play. I play disco, I play tech house, I play minimum, I play down tempo, which is which is monolic, organic, or progressive. Um, I play garage. I play techno. So as far as the underground aspects of music, I have dipped my toes in different pools, because I want to be as well rounded as possible, and that's the key. Being well rounded. Think of yourself as an MMA fighter. MMA means mixed martial arts, which means that you're mixing different styles of martial arts into one. Okay, you got your grappling, you got your stand up, which it can be kippo karate, Muay Thai, kung fu. You know, that's your stand up boxing. That's your stand up. Then of course your grappling, which is jiu-jitsu or wrestling. So you mix those forms of combats together, and you have mixed martial arts. Well, a DJ should have that same mindset. You should be able to play any kind of genre. Now, I don't do open format, and I always let people know that I don't do open format. That's the one genre that I stay away from. I don't do dubstep, and I don't do drum and bass. Now, I do like certain drum and bass DJs, because their stuff is awesome and I love it. But I personally don't do it. But as far as other aspects of underground dance music, oh yeah, I welcome it with open arms. Yeah, always watch what the industry is doing. That's why I say, keep up with the publications. I always say go to YouTube. YouTube has a wealth of information on different DJ content creators who is, I would say, they really have a finger on the pulse when it comes to new, when DJ gear comes out, different aspects of DJing, best way of approaching, of getting the gig, best way of approaching a playlist. I mean, I can name channels right off the bat. Crossfader, Mojax, he does his thing. Cleveland Terry does his thing. DJ Carlo, Pino Jolie, and these are channels that I subscribe myself. So I try to keep my nose in the grindstone when it comes to that, because you have to make sure you keep yourself in the know. Next one. Treat it like a business. Even though if you're doing this as a hobby, still treat it like a business. Why? Because even though it's a hobby, there will be times where you will get a gig and you will get paid for that gig. Now, you might not get a vast amount of money, but my thing is this: some money is better than no money. Now, there are times that you will have to play for free just to get your name out there, especially when you just starting. You're going to be playing a lot of places for free because you got to get the exposure. People got to see you. They need to know what you all about. Now, once you have established yourself, then you can start be more concrete and more demanding as for your worth as a DJ. Now, I don't listen to DJs who saying that, oh, all these DJs is playing for free and it's hurting, it's hurting their worth and stuff like that. I'm like, this is my thing. If you're a new and upcoming DJ, what are they supposed to do? You're not gonna give a new upcoming DJ two, three, four, $500 and make them play a 4 or 5 hour set, and they never played anything outside their own house before. You're not gonna do that. I mean, let's be realistic. We all got to start somewhere. I mean, me personally, I was thrown to the wolves when I started DJing. So, I would never, use that same approach to any DJ who wants me to show them the ropes. I would never do that to them. But trust me, it was done to me because these DJs knew me, and they knew and they felt in their heart that I can do it and I can handle it, and I was able to. So, and also make sure that you keep your contacts. Any place that you play, any person that you meet, make sure when you exchange contacts, because I usually change contacts via IG. You keep you keep in contact with them. Let them know what's going on. Let them know what's up. And it doesn't have to be, if you got something open, blah blah blah. It doesn't have to be that. Just say hello, how you doing, and stuff like that. Because if they if they see that, okay, this guy or this person wants to know how I'm doing and stuff like that, and they're keeping in touch with us, you keep you keep you you are keeping them you keeping yourself in their mind. So when something comes up, you'll probably be the first or second, but I know you'll be somewhere within that scope of, okay, I know this person plays, I've seen him play and stuff like that. Yes, I want that person on this lineup of an event that I'm creating. Because I do that. So But yes, even though you're doing this as a hobby, because I said this is my labor of love, but still, you should take it seriously. That's why it's important to definitely treat it like a business. Okay, the bottom line is this. Okay, DJs who blend art, tech, and hustle, both online and offline, are the ones who thrive today. And that is so true because the DJs that you see online, I'm gonna go back to see myself so I can make sure people can see what I'm about to say. The DJs that you see posting on social media complain about, oh, why this one DJ always getting these gigs, or oh, why this promoter is picking the same DJs. When don't they know there's new DJs out there? No, they don't. Don't they know I'm a DJ and I can play just as much as they can? No, they don't. Because the question I'm asking is, have you went out to these events and supported? And if you say no, I need you to have a seat. I really need you to have a seat because you just destroy your whole entire argument. If you're not showing any kind of support, have a damn seat. Now I support every DJ, who I encounter, whether it's online or offline. And since I mostly play online, I'm always on Twitch unless I'm doing something else, unless I'm preparing for either a raid train that I'm conducting or a raid train that I'm about to be involved in, or my weekly show. But if I know a certain DJ, especially if a certain DJ that I love seeing playing, and I know they're on, and if I know they're live, I'm gonna go to Twitch and check them out. And that's just showing love. That's all that is. That's just showing love. And if you don't have the time to do that, why are you here? So when that bottom line I just read, those are the DJs that do thrive. The ones that take the art seriously, that means they practice, practice, practice. The ones that do the work, branding, getting their names out there, posting whatever they doing on social media. Most every mix I play, I record it and I post it on either SoundCloud or Mixcloud. Every time I'm involved in either a raid train or an event, I post it on social media. Because I want people to know that I'm doing something. And I'm getting my hustle on. And like I said, I'm doing this both online and offline. And that's where those DJs, including myself, that's when you thrive. That's when you're thriving. Okay. I went over on this one. I apologize for that. Probably won't be able to play the entire thing when during the show, but don't fret because the replays will post on YouTube the entire replay, the entire show, which is the music and this discussion will be posted on YouTube, so you hear the entire thing. So this is House That Speaks. Wishing everybody peace and love.